Welcome back. Well, as a new mom, I know the importance and joy of reading to my children. And our first guests are here to tell us about a new book that shares an important lesson in perseverance and strength and the message, if you believe you can, you can. The book is called Rock Solid, The Courageous Journey of Rocky Bleier. Many of you already know Rocky's story, a Pittsburgh Steeler severely injured in Vietnam who pushed himself to recover and rejoin the team, going on to win 4 Super Bowl trophies. Author Larry Klukaszewski was so inspired by Rocky's story that he collaborated with Rocky to write and illustrate Rock Solid. And we are happy to have both Rocky and Larry Klu, as you're known as an artist, on today's show. Thank you so much for being both here.
Well, you're welcome. It's a pleasure. Thanks. Yeah.
So how thrilled were you to be contacted to be the subject of a children's book?
I thought the story was over with. I thought everything, every media venue we could do to tell this story had taken place until Larry had called, and he was very interested in doing this book. Now, collaboration is a loosely used term only because he did it all. Let me just tell you this. I mean, it was his idea, and he wrote the book. He wrote the poem. He wrote the script, and obviously he did all the illustrations within it. And so it was really quite an honor for him to say, "Hey, I really want to do this because," and I'll let him tell you the story of why.
Well, he was inspired by you, and so Larry, tell us a little bit about that inspiration.
It began as a child growing up in the 70s and 80s, and just being a Pittsburgher for life, of course, as we all are. I was so inspired not only by the Steelers but by my hero, Rocky. And as I would watch him and notice his greatness on the field, it was even more powerful to me in that he overcame so many serious injuries fighting for our country. And coming from a military family, my dad is a retired officer. I was so taken by Rocky's inspirational story. It's just a message of courage. It truly is.
Yeah, one of the great things I think about this collaboration, as we've used, is the fact that Larry is a teacher.
Yes.
Yes, and he's
at Kiski, is that correct?
Kiski area. I'm an art teacher at Kiski area.
And so, thinking about the inspiration, that he has or maybe using this as a vehicle for students that are out there that say, hey, maybe we can do something like this. Here's a dream that he had. It's another story of an inspiration, his own story, inspired by one other person, and to be able to create this this book, and for another whole new generation of young people that are coming up.
So not only did you write the book, you're an art teacher, you actually illustrated the book as well. We have some of your illustrations. And Rocky, you signed some of the larger ones.
That's right.
And those will be auctioned, is that right?
Absolutely, those will be auctioned for charitable reasons.
And what is this one?
That is that's Rocky being carried to the helicopter, whisking him away to a safe haven where the doctors can attend to his injuries. And part of the reason I wanted to share this with my school kids, as Rocky alluded to, was to give them the inspirational message and to find out about this great, not only local hero, but American hero. And I wanted them to also know that I did all these illustrations with the simple, basic supplies that we utilize there in the classroom. So I said, look, these are regular pencils, colored pencils, watercolor media. You can do it, as Rocky said. Whatever you dream, whatever you aspire to become in life, you can do it if you're as driven as this guy is right here.
And tell me about this illustration.
That is obviously a tribute to the man, the chief, our dearly departed former owner. And Rocky received a message. I think the only correspondence that he received from a member of the organization, and that really was the driving force that inspired him to begin to overcome these very serious injuries. I'm not sure that people can fully understand what he went through. I mean, we see his greatness on the field, but boy, he went through a long road, and that's what I wanted to communicate to the kids.
Yeah, and how did you overcome all of that? I mean, I know everybody's heard your story, but it's just
there's two things. One, having a dream of wanting to do something, and then secondly, having the opportunity to do something. So as we were talking about the Rooney family and the SEAL organization to begin with, going all the way back, then I get I get a postcard from Miss Rooney, and it says this: "Team's not doing well. We need you, Art Rooney." Well, they didn't need me, but it was kind of an inspiration to say, okay, maybe somebody cares. And I think that's one of the things that Larry teaches, and hopefully that this book will illustrate is that you have a talent, and if you are driven to do it, and somebody gives you the opportunity to be able to do it, then you run with it as long as you possibly can. And I think the biggest thing in our lives are maybe all the would'ves and could'ves and should'ves that we carry along with us, and if you can erase some of those what ifs, along the way, maybe you'll be able to reach the potential that you have and get to the level where you want to be.
And how about your kids? Are they inspired hearing that you've had such great success with the book?
Absolutely, and I think I shared this with Rock when we did the book kickoff. We did an event at my actual school, and it was attended by many of the school kids, and I think I told Rock, kids are already doing book reports on his story, so that totally fulfills the purpose of the story itself. And before I forget, this is your complimentary.
Oh, great! We'll read it to our daughter tonight.
That's right.
My husband is already teaching her what football, hockey, and baseball are every time. Well, he has ESPN on all the time, right?
One of the interesting side stories is I get a lot of feedback from fans is that I only read one book in my life, and it was when I was in 7th grade or 6th grade or 5th grade, fighting back the original book, and I thought, well, maybe this is an extension now that some young child can read this and say, hey, it made a difference in my life.
The book was just released online at the end of May.
Correct.
Is that right?
I think it was actually early May.
And I think, you told us that within 24 hours it was already a bestseller?
Correct, yes.
Unbelievable.
That goes to the credit of the Pittsburgh fans in general, and I don't want to forget my friends and loved ones that support me in everything that I do, especially my lovely wife who's at home watching. Love you. Love you all.
Should we share what your wife calls you?
Go for it. I'm Larry Clue, but she calls me
Larry Clueless.
Clueless, yeah.
Maybe she's wrong on that one today, at least. All right, well, any plans to write another book? You think this inspired you to do it again?
If I do, it's going to be hard to, beat this guy's story. I mean, I would not rule it out, put it that way, but I'm just going to enjoy this one for a good long time and celebrate one of my all-time heroes, Rock.
Right. So where's the best way they can get the book?
Oh, yes.
Amazon.com. You can actually, there's a link at my own personal website, which is larrycluklu.com, and that'll take you right to Amazon. So.
All right. Thank you guys so much for being
welcome.
here. I'm inspired. I can't wait to read it.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, well, you can look for Rock Solid, The Courageous Journey of Rocky Bleier in local bookstores and online now, and we'll have all the information you need posted at kdka.com/PTL, where you'll also be able to see more of Larry Klue's artwork, so be sure to check it out. Thanks again, guys.